So hello everyone, it's Toby from Toby's Sketch, and this is number 3 of the challenges by Katie and Janet on Instagram. I've popped their Instagrams below in the description, and this reference is this rather exciting looking building. So we're going to have a think about how we can capture that. As with the others, as with my normal Instagram challenges, I'm going to try and do this in 10 minutes. But we'll see how the flow takes us. We'll see what we get done in 10 minutes and see if we need to do anything extra. So, just going to pop my phone where I can see it. I'm going to be doing this with my normal Lamy Safari extra fine fountain pen. And let's just go for it. So it's a fascinating building. And I'm going to start, I think, at the right hand side. And we'll see. I might extend it onto the other page a little bit. It just has that feel of something which be quite nice as a broader kind of landscape. So we'll come round and just grab first these big shapes and just really being very gentle and loose and seeing where we need to sort of intersect different shapes. So we've got this cylinder basically, isn't it? And then it's got its outer rim. And it's got quite a dark shadow in that, so we can get that in already. Then above it, it's got another sort of halo kind of effect. A couple of halos, in fact. And then, it's going to come down. I'm going to add a few of these little windows and things. And just these kind of lines where there's different colour going on. And then at the bottom, if we just mark our sort of that little area of interesting texture, I'm actually going to go straight ahead and pop in this little sign. I love a little road sign. Now let's work out what's going on with the roof that comes next to it. So it comes across like so, little chimney on top, and then we got this. Looks like I'm not sure what it is. Looks like a portal. Looks like a portal. A door, a window, something, isn't it? That can come across. Then we've got another little one. I mean, it must be a window when you think about it. It's just not obvious. Maybe it's got a little internal balcony or something. But it doesn't matter if we don't know what things are, because it's all really still just about finding shapes and sketching shapes. So we can draw anything by just breaking it down into its sort of little constituent parts, which is hopefully what I've managed to achieve here. Now, talking of shapes, let's find the sort of big shapes here. So we've got a rectangle and we've got another rectangle, and they're both about the same size. They both come across about this far. And then within this, we definitely have little very complicated windows, don't we? So let's just start by grabbing those. And there's a few different size ones, different shape ones. There's one which appears to be open, so it's really dark. And then we've got this kind of stripe going down here, stripe going down here. It's just trying to find, amongst all this intricacy and complexity, I'm trying to pick out the things which stand out to me and then pop them on the page and ignore, at least at the beginning, and you know, for a small quick challenge, probably ignore a lot of the bigger sort of scarier details, because they're not important in getting the essence down. They're only important if we were trying to produce something really photorealistic. And then I've actually popped it all into one page, which surprises me. I thought that I'd naturally expand off a page, but also happy to have just got it onto the one page. Just trying to get these trees and bushes in the background. And I want this line work to really not clash, but contrast with my house's line work. So where we've got these angular little lines here, I tried to contrast that with these swirling lines, which just show there's something sort of fundamentally different here. And when we add a bit of colour, it'll become obvious. Got a little house in the background, not going to make too much of it, just enough to provide a frame, something pushing in. And then I've got this pavement. Got a little sign here as well, which of course we must add. And we just do that with some simple shapes. I've got the shapes the wrong order, but that's okay as well. Little bollards. There's all these little details, and you could imagine just really taking your time on this and doing a really beautiful sketch on something bigger. The people, I think, are quite important. They set the scale for the image. So I'm going to add in a few people, just taking a hint from where the people are actually on this scene, but doing them in, my own style, and just to make it feel busier and make it feel like a travelled place. And what I'm doing what I call sort of loopy people. So a little circle, another circle for the body, and add a little funny suggestion of legs. Nothing more than that. Now we're doing okay for time-wise, surprisingly. So I'm going to concentrate quite a lot more on just some of this line work, making some of it a bit bolder. And just coming around and solidifying some of these key shapes, and where there's really black areas, we can use our pen to really make them bold. Some of these windows, for example, and there's another, I'm going to give them another full row of windows there. This has definitely got some depth to it here. And by doing this, what we're going to be able to do is some very limited colours, which I hope will really capture the idea of what's going on. I'm going to give all these windows just a little hatch, with the aim of just making them appear complicated. The same, just to grab these kind of idea of all this embellishment going on. Okay, so that's our little building done, our little sketch done. Very quick, very loose, but lots of hints at what it's really like. I'm going to use my colours and my limited palette, but I'm going to try and pick out some of the important colours going on. So the red, sort of reddy brown, I'm going to use a bit of red and orange. I'm going to apply that red quite carefully around the areas it is in the actual image. Carefully but quickly, because we're trying to do a little 10-minute challenge, and I want this to be nice and loose and alive. And you know what, it may not work, it may end up too messy, or it may end up feeling like it needs to be a longer piece or something, but that's alright. Only find that out by trying and experimenting. So there's our red, can pop it in the roof as well. Then we've got a little bit of green, I think, just to contrast. So a little bit of gold green with a little bit of cascade green in at the bottom. Got a bit more of our sort of red down here as well. And what other interesting colours and tones do we have? Well, we've got a lot of shade, haven't we? So I'm going to get a bit of indigo and perylene violet. A bit more indigo, get a nice deep shadow. And that can just come into those bits which are in shade. And if we work sort of quickly enough, what we'll be able to do is then wash that shade over, soften it a bit, and creates a bit more sort of realistic and flowing shadow. Same down here. And then the other bit we've obviously got is a very bold sky, haven't we? So let's just get a real hit of our cobalt blue going on in the sky. I'm actually going to change to a bigger brush just so I can move that pigment around more effectively. Now if I just bring it to the edges, let it flow down in parts as well. We can get it to flow here, we can get it to flow here. And that will naturally, as you can see, pick up some of that red and give us an interesting texture within our image. I want this sky to just have a bit more movement to it. It's a very flat sky in reality, isn't it? But I think it's fun to have the skies having a bit of movement in. Okay, and in my last few seconds, I'm going to just emphasize a couple of areas with some deep red. This is just Scarlet Lake now. And even more bravely, I'm going to add some quinacridone sienna, a whole new colour in a couple of places, just to warm things up in a more gentle way. Oh, where's my quinacridone sienna? And a few splashes into the sky as well to get that kind of glowing, folding effect. Now this one I'm going to let dry, and I think we will do a few more touches, but let's see what it looks like after this 10 minutes and then see what we do to add a bit more. Okay, so here's the 10-minute version, and you can see that actually things have softened rather nicely, and we got that kind of glow from where we washed everything around. I'm going to go back in now with my pen, and I am going to just re-solidify just some of this line work with nice bold pen. And then we'll see if we want to add any more colour, or if we're actually happy with what our sort of more limited application of colour has done for us. We can make a few bits bold. We can capture shapes that we had sort of allowed to flow before with the colour. We can bring our people forward now as well, now that we've got them backed up against this lovely colour. Simple things like those lovely road signs can come forward as well. And these shapes within shapes we can just make a little bit more of. Okay, and what else could we do? Well, get a little bit more shape into these trees. I think that does provide a bit of something extra actually, having a lot more pen work just pushing them. And I think a couple of really small touches actually would be fun with the colours. So firstly, get these chimneys to be red, and then next I'm going to take my blue and we're going to get some people who are really standing out. So start off with some blue people, and then let's do a bit of green. These are kind of just colours which are contrasting with all those warm colours coming from the house. And then a little sort of silhouetted person, and then we can even give them all a little shadow, give a shadow to the curb as well. Maybe even, since we're doing shadows, let's re-emphasize the shadow down here. And now I would say that we are definitely done. That's a nice little, always some splashes of course, but that's a nice little sketch done in, well, 10 minutes plus maybe 2 minutes. We've got, I think, the idea of this very complicated building, but without too much fuss, with making our own little changes. And hopefully you had fun. I certainly had a bit of fun working out how to do it. It's not in my normal comfort zone, but it's certainly interesting to experiment and see what we can come up with when we put ourselves under a little bit of pressure. So thanks for watching. Do go and check out the guys' challenge, have a go yourself. If you do it, feel free to share with me on Instagram, and certainly tag the challenge setters on Instagram as well. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day and happy sketching.